The retail shrink crisis, preventing theft without killing customer experience. Perhaps you're wondering, how do I keep my merchandise in my store and go through the cash register before it goes out the door? Well, that's what we're talking about in this video, about how to deal with shrink in your retail store. So you're going to learn the number one deterrent to thieves. You're also going to learn the one place you're probably not looking for thievery in your location. And you're going to hear some amusing anecdotes from the retail doc himself. Now let's get to it. You know, I was in Madison Avenue, New York, and it was the middle of January. It's cold. It's like a blizzard, right? It's freezing. I've got my muffler and everything all in. And I walk into this luxury knitwear store, which you would know the brand of, but we'll keep that out of this. And as I walk in, this woman comes up to me and she goes, "Would you like a bottle of water?" And I'm thinking, out of all the things you could say to me, you thought that was the best one. And I said, no, it's 20 degrees below zero with the wind chill out there. I don't want a bottle of water. Oh. And then she took the pose, hands behind her back, I call it felon pose, and watched me as I walked through the whole store. And I thought, you know, in the middle of summer, if it was, I don't know, 102 degrees, and you offered me a bottle of water, that'd been like, oh, that's so courteous. Like, oh, just for me. And this one, it was kind of like perfunctory, like, here, you want a bottle of water? No. And what I didn't get was there were 3 other employees all staring. I call it lurking me. Like, did you think I was going to steal something? I mean, I still had a nice jacket on underneath my coat, which I had to take off because it was so warm in there. And I just kept thinking, you must have overcorrected on theft, right? Somebody stole something at one point, and now everybody's a thief. And you know what? In my other videos, which I've talked about in selling, the whole goal is to get the customer to feel wonder, like, oh, what else they got? Oh, this is so wonderful. In this case, it was, I bet he's going to steal something. And even if that wasn't her image, it's what I felt. Customers who feel they matter buy, those who don't walk. And that transference of feeling, you don't belong here, you can't afford it, more than likely you're going to steal it. I'm like, you're selling a $1,000 hoodie. Like, who are you kidding? As I walked by, obviously I didn't buy anything, but I don't want you to overcorrect because theft is real. You know, when I was in cowboy clothes many years ago, we used to have a 8-foot by 8-foot table. It was about this high at the front of the store, which sold Levi's 501s. They were really big. We put them on promotion, various different prices, but it was a real big draw in Santa Monica because we had a lot of tourists who came to Santa Monica looking for that product. And they would buy bags and bags of them, and it was awesome. So I about to leave my store, and I left Stuart in charge. I talked about Stuart in another video, and you really want to find out more about my videos, subscribe up above there. But I left him in charge, and we just gotten a big shipment of Levi's in, and so we put them all out, and it was great. And I come back into the store, and I go, something's wrong. And I didn't know what it was, and I realized that somebody had cleaned out the Levi's, but they had left 2 sizes all the way around. So if you took a quick view of it, you would still see the blue, but you wouldn't necessarily notice the piles were gone. Well, needless to say, my owner wasn't very happy with that. I wasn't happy with it. And Stuart's like, what? What do you expect me to be? A policeman? And I was like, yeah, you do expect that. And that goes back to one of the biggest ways you can stop theft is have everybody greet somebody by looking for their eye collar within 15 seconds. Thieves hate to be noticed. That is the number one way you stop theft. Now, I get it. There are smash and grabs that are happening across the U.S. They've always been around, right? And so jewelry stores put up a security guard and try to stop all of that. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about that incidental theft. And if you can stop that by looking at somebody in the eye and making sure they understand, I know you're here, that's a good first start. And like in that Levi story, I get it. You know, we lost a lot of money from all those pants going out of there. And more importantly, we didn't get another shipment because we'd just gotten all those out. So we'd really help these thieves out. And the impetus is to overcorrect, which you see at drugstores and convenience stores and even grocery stores, where even basics like toothpaste or toe clippers or any number of items are now under lock and key. And you know who is the beneficiary of that? Is Amazon and all the online purveyors. There is no easy answer for that though, because people expect those categories to be in those stores, and they also understand that their model is not to have 20 people on the store all the time. They're called a big box for a reason, that they assume people are not going to be stealing, and those are all small items that can be easily pocketed. So give them a break, give the retailers a break, and there are other technology you use like sync where they can shop with a QR code and then it's prepared and you can pick it up at the checkout at the end. Again, not ideal, but we live in a real world, and there are too many movies out there where it shows, hey, the 5-finger discount is really easy to pull off, whether it's food or small items, and that's not going to change anytime soon. So what we have to change is think about those smaller items would have to be closer to your counter, and if those items are having to be locked up, maybe you're not making money on them anyway, and you can find something else you can sell better that's not going to be stolen as easy, and more importantly, it's going to make you more money in the end. I had a time also when I was in a store and they'd locked up all the leather around a rounder effect, and there was a guy underneath who was cutting the cables, and caught him, and he, they're confident. It didn't run out. It's like, well, you can't prosecute me anyway, and walked out, didn't have any merchandise. But it's very real. But also what's really real that you might not even be thinking about is a lot of theft happens in your store. We call it shrink, but it might be those invoices that nobody really checks off. Like, oh yeah, we got in 12, and maybe you got in 6. And so the computer thinks 12 are in the system, and when you go to an inventory, we're missing 6. Oh, people are stealing them. Well, nobody was really stealing them. And worse, what can happen is your crew says, oh, that computer is never right. Oh, it's always wrong. And so it makes it easy to hide. Like if you stole 6 sweaters somehow, no one's going to find it. So that's why I also recommend that you do sneaky trash checks. That's the number one way people steal items, is just every now and then before somebody takes out the trash, oh, let me just take a look at it before you go out. Well, what do you think? Someone's stealing something? No. Why are you going off on me like that, right? And you just happen to look through it. And I've had all kinds of people report around the world, oh, I found a couple pair of shoes in there. I found some clothing, any number of items, right? Because that's the easy way to get it out, and then someone else can take it from there. I don't encourage anyone to do what I did, which was, again, when I was in a store and someone had not fully closed the door, the back end of the mall door of the store, and I went by this room that was an exit to it, and we had some stock footwear, and I noticed somebody running out the door. So they've got a stack of shoes, and this is in Pasadena, California, and I go running after this guy. All right, so I'm much younger and I could run much better. But I'm running, trying to see this guy. I'm going out and I'm crossing Green Boulevard, and there's a cop there, and I go, hey, I'm a merchant. This guy's stealing stuff. Come with me. And the guy's like, get in the car. I was like, what? And I go, no, get in the car. He goes, do you own that merchandise? I said, no. He goes, how do you know that guy didn't have a buddy with a knife or a gun? He didn't. And he goes, yeah, not worth your life, and not in this neighborhood. I was like, wow. So I get why people say, don't be the hero, don't go through and change, because you don't really know what happens once you go out of the mall. But we do know that when you're going through and you're thinking about your employees and thinking they're all virtuous, we'd love to believe they all are, but there's a 5-finger discount. And it sometimes shows up in cash, so that's why we count the drawer out. That's why we count out cash to people instead of just handing it to them, because those really do end up costing you the money. But never forget that if you don't have standards and you don't show where we're looking for potential theft, then people think, well, I can get away with it. And that's the danger. That's why we put locks on houses. If somebody really wants to get in your house, they're going to break a window and get in. Somebody really wants to steal from you, they really will. But what we're trying to cut down on is the impact on customer service. So as we wrap this short video up, I want you to be thinking about, subscribe to my other videos up above me, and I've got an offer down below. I want you to be thinking about that. But I want you to be thinking about how much of our customer service could be better if we just understood that it's part of stopping shrink and theft, which is to greet a customer within 30 seconds, greet their eyes within 15, look for the color of their eyes, and that signals, I notice you. And then having a manager also who notices everybody that's in the store at one time, right? So I've got some other videos you could check out over there as well, and that helps talk about it. Because customer service really does stop shrink, because the good people, the ones who really want you want them to buy from you, are also going to be the ones who appreciate that extra greeting, that looking for the color of their eyes and just saying good morning. That's what we're talking about. Now, I have an offer if you are with a store that has over $1 million in sales, or at least one in each of your locations, then book a strategy call with me. You could do that down below, where we'll get clear on what you can do with your customer service and shrink and training to improve all of that. And if not, you could certainly read my books, but I have an awful lot of other videos you could check out as well. So don't forget to subscribe up above. And just remember that we want to take everybody on face value that they are trustworthy. But we also want to make sure we have guardrails so that everybody understands we're watching the business. And I'm watching you and what you're doing in your store. I'm Bob Phibbs, the Retail Doc, out.